Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. If you are new to the channel, welcome. In 1990, I became involved in the drug world, which also included gang activity and transporting drugs. I would go on to become a drug dealer and affect a lot of people in a very negative way. I'm here to let you know that you don't have to live this way. I was able to overcome addiction, and not only addiction to drugs, but addiction to the hustle as well, and go on to live a normal life. And if I can do it, you can do it as well. So let's get into today's story. Different types of California Department of Corrections inmates slash convicts. So there's definitely different levels to the people that are locked up in California. And I'm going to break that down for you in this story today. So at the bottom of the barrel, you have residents, non-affiliates, and I'm going to keep this once again to the wood faction, the white faction, because that's what I better understand. I don't really want to speak on the way other group factions do things because I wasn't a part of them. So let's get into it. Okay, so you have the non-affiliate wood. I don't think we use the word resident. I think that there's other groups that use that are more gang related. But the non-affiliate wood is just the basic, you got busted and you're not affiliated with anything, you're not into gangs or anything like that, and you're just basically a white guy that got busted and now you're in jail. So this is the very bottom level. This is would be considered an inmate. A lot of the newer generation, a lot of the OGs think a lot of the newer generation are merely inmates, but you can level up for sure. Then the next level of inmate would be your street gang members. And you may say, but Bobby, I don't know of any white street gangs. Well, yeah, you got skinheads and there's a million different factions of them. There's some other ones that are more involved in the prison, and I'm not really going to get into any names on that. But yeah, these guys are your basic foot soldier. They're for the most part going to be your frontline guys in the prison. So if something needs to be done, they're going to get their hand raised one way or another. I mean, they're with the business and they're looking to make a name. They're affiliated with something, so it's not really in their nature to turn things down, or it shouldn't be anyways. If there's some work to do, if there's somebody needs to be removed, somebody needs to hold on to something, there's a lot of different things that go on in the California prison system. These are those guys. Typically, they're the newer inmates, and they're getting their feet wet, and they're going to put in that work, and they're going to basically end up in the shoe and try to work their way further up the food chain. So before I finish up with this list, I have two more groups within the white faction. If you like this sort of content, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, let me know what you think. If you were ever anywhere within this chain, let me know. I'd love to hear it. And share this video to somebody that may enjoy this sort of content. It definitely helps to grow the channel, and that's what I'm looking to do here. So the third group within this list is going to be the associates to the big homies. And now let me make something clear. I'm not speaking on anything that isn't already known. All of this is very common knowledge in the world of prison. Uh, the green side, the correctional officers know it. We know it. So it's out there already. I'm not putting anything out there that, isn't already known. So you have the associates to the big homies. And these guys basically have been back to the shoe already. And I'm sure they're doing it differently now because a lot of the big homies are out on the yard. But back in my day, you had to go and either hit AdSeg or the shoe and get to know some people back there. That's where all the real big dogs of the prison world were. So you would get back there, you would get some further education, and basically, if you did things right and they took a liking to you, they would basically give you blessings to have a yard or to work for them, basically. Like I said, this is all common knowledge at this point, so I'm not sharing anything that isn't already known. So, you become an associate, now you're making moves on behalf of some of these individuals. And, that could be, moving drugs on the yard, uh, running bets or maybe a poker table or something of the sort. Anything to generate funds to kick back to the big homies. That's your associate, and now we're talking about the convict side of things. So the only thing that we have left at this point is the big homies. And when I say the big homies, there's not a whole bunch of them, but they have all the power. And these are prison gang members, and they have put in a ton of work and showed their worth and basically been pulled by the organization. In California, it's pretty well known who that organization is. I'm sure a simple Google search will tell you exactly who I'm talking about if you don't know. Now, these guys, basically, they control everything but the gates. They have a lot of juice with the administration. And, the administration understands that these guys can keep the peace. So there is a lot of leeway that goes with that. And, not only do these guys run the prisons, but they run the streets as well. They send word out to the streets, things get done. There's a reason why I don't mention these organizations on these videos, because I understand that. And, I don't find myself anywhere within this list anymore. Like I said, I'm a civilian at this point. But if you wonder where you would be on this list, I would strongly suggest that you stop worrying about stuff like that and take care of business, with your family, take care of your kids, and, live your best life. Because, you think that, you can do what you want, but when you get in there, somebody's going to be calling your shots and telling you what to do. One last thing I want to touch on before I wrap up this video is inmates and tattoos. Now, you'll find guys that have tattoos all over the place, and then you'll find some guys that don't have many tattoos at all. A lot of times, by looking at the type of ink that they have, it will tell you a story about who you are dealing with. So now, that's not to say that somebody that's tattooed from head to toe is necessarily any tougher than somebody that doesn't have any tattoos at all or very little. A lot of times the quality of the ink will tell you a lot about a person. And the video I just did about prison tattoos, you can go back and check that out as well. Certain symbols that are tattooed on people say a lot about them. But I will say this: don't judge a book by its cover, because you'll see somebody that looks some might say looks very intimidating, and they might be the nicest guy in the world. And you may see another guy that's real quiet that don't have many tattoos at all, and he'll be the first one to slice your throat. So that's something to consider as well. So family, fitness, and freedom are what helped me to achieve a wonderful life out here in the free world, and it can help you as well. You don't have to be stuck up in that process of going in and out like I was. There's a much better life out here. So, it, like I say, it's making good decisions and making more good decisions and doing your best to limit the bad decisions. And that will definitely advance you in this life. So don't look at the mountain, just our climate.